So you finally got your payout. What should you be doing with your money and how should you allocate it? And I'm going to be sharing you some key lessons I learned from books such as The Richest Man in Babylon and how I kind of accumulated my wealth in order to reinvest it and re-diversify into other investment, other ideas to create a passive income and to kind of say that I'm completely financially free. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a bit more of a finance breakdown one, but it definitely generally is one that you've got to learn and earn from, because getting payouts is great, but don't go spanking it all on the Lambo. So you've got your payout split. Now, the first things first is there are two ways to approach this. There's a conservative way or the aggressive way. Now, I'm going to be sharing the aggressive way because I generally believe that the more you do, the faster your dreams will come true. And the aggressive way basically means that you are going to save more and more of your income as much as possible when doing it. Now, the average way of how people do this is using the common way of the 50-30-20 rule. Now, the 50-30-20 rule works like this. On the 50%, that is for your needs. So for example, if you need to travel for work, or you need to have your car payments, or you have to have bills, your insurance, your utilities, your healthcare, whatever it may be, that falls under your 50%. The wants become like the TVs, your Netflix, your YouTube, clothes that you want to do. You want to go out and drink and go out and party. All of these things are a want because essentially you can live without them. They are not a necessity. Whereas necessities or your needs are things that you must have in order to go about your day-to-day life and to continue doing what you're doing. So for example, you need your internet bill because you have to use that to trade. And then last but not least is 20% is for your savings. So saving for a rainy day, either putting it into investments, saving it for a house deposit, whatever you are saving for, that is to be reused for any specific occasion that you set yourself. So if you don't do any of these splits, it's fine. This is why this video is going to be a full tutorial or breaking down on my split that I have. So the split I have is 50, 20, 10, 10. So what we're going to do is migrate down to my iPad, and I want to try and kind of learn with you guys and write everything out so you can kind of see. So the 50% is actually going to be your savings. This is the split, okay? And I want to show you examples after your payout split, your salary, whatever you want to do. I'll give you multiple examples and how you should split it, and in different accounts as well. Then I have a 20%, 10%, and 10%. Now, this 20% is for needs. This 10% is for rainy day. And this 10% is for wants. So ultimately, this savings I've also split into 15%, 25%, and 10%, which is obviously, so that will accumulate to the 50% in total. So I'll split that accordingly. That 15% is to completely save. The 25% is for long-term investments. And then the 10% is available. So to kind of explain all of these and how this works is I try to save at least 50% of everything I'm earning. So for example, say you see me and I get a 10K profit split or a 5K profit split, whatever it is, this is how I would split it. I would then move 5K into savings, and then 2K into needs, 1K into a rainy day, and then 1K into wants. Now for these savings, how it works is on the 15% save, this savings is for something that I'm trying to accumulate for. Now, this is mainly for larger investments such as property deals, or even a investment in a new company, or an angel investment in someone's new idea or a pitch idea, or to invest in an IPO. It's just mainly saving for larger investments and something that I can make more money on. So one of the greatest lessons from the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, which is to save 10% of all of your earnings, because really and truly the idea is if you save, like you make 10K, you put 1K away, that is not going to harm you because you still have 9K to do whatever you want to do or split it however you want to split. So 10% is what you've got to be putting away time and time again, and then once it's accumulated to something, you can reinvest that and hopefully make your wealth build on more wealth. So money makes money. Now, essentially, that is what my 15% is for. That 15% is to reinvest, to save and accumulate, and to put it towards something for the longer term vision. The 25% it actually goes into my stocks and shares ISA, and then it also goes into the crypto portfolio. And then 10% is to be available. Now, if there's any opportunities that come available, whatever that grows into, I don't know, whatever it may be, but that 10% is to be saved, and that's to be using on opportunities. Yet again, for the full savings amount is to basically be able to use this money to make more money when the opportunity arises. Then we have our 20%. Now the 20% becomes needs. Now, really and truly, this should be much smaller now because I live way below this. So whatever's left over, I move that into my savings side of things. But what I try to do is in this necessity is for your rent, for the car payments, for nursery, for groceries, utilities, you name it, you need it. That falls into the 20%. 10% is the rainy day. Now, this rainy day often is kind of things like, you know, if the boiler goes, or if, you know, I have to pay for some emergency healthcare or an emergency flight ticket, whatever it may be, that is what the rainy day is for. And the reason why I have an extra 10% for rainy days is because I do not want to chip into my savings and take anything away from this, because this savings is my freedom portfolio. Because once you figure out, and which is another topic in another video, is basically once you have your FU money, you know how much money you need to save in order to accumulate that. So just to give you a little bit of an example. So say, for example, you need to live off of a 5k a year. Okay. So if you need to live off of 5k a year, this is pure financial freedom, by the way, guys. If you have to live off 5k a month, that means that's 60k a year. Then that means really and truly, you need to be making at least 600k. Let's just have an example, making a 10% ROI on that per year. That will give you 60k per year. Okay, which means then I need to find a way to obviously make the 600k, and then also I need to find an opportunity that's going to give me a 10% return on that, and then obviously then I can have the 60k, and then that 60k per year I'm living essentially for free from that 600k. So that's a little bit of an idea, and that should be like mind-blowing. That's like financial freedom at its best. Now you have a goal. That 600k may be a lot, but now your life lesson or your life goal or your vision or your journey is to find a way to make that 600k and enjoy the journey whilst you're at it. So that's what that savings is for. That savings is to help you build up to that 600k or whatever that number is for you. Okay, so once you have that written down, I actually find a really useful way is to actually go on to Excel sheet and have this all automated for me. So then every time I have an income, or anytime I get a bonus, or anytime something money comes in, I type the number in and it's completely spread out. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we have multiple bank accounts. So let's just say hypothetically, you've got a HSBC, you've got a NatWest. Do you know what? Let's say bank 2, bank 1, bank 3, bank 4, and then this is savings, which is 50%. Then we have bank 2, which is needs, it's 20%. Rainy day, 10%. Once, 10%. Bank 5, available, 10%. Oh, I completely messed up. And I've just realized I forgot to say bank 5 is for available, which is that 10%. I was like, wait a minute, 50% plus 20% plus 10%, there's only 90% there. Well, that last 10% is just to have available, and it just sits there pretty much to compound, and I can use that to buy any major luxuries or any major purchases. That available is just freedom. Like whatever you want to use that 10% for, you can use for. But there are specific pots for whatever you need to have, which is why we have names for them and the necessities. Okay, so here we have the full breakdown. So as soon as you get any sort of income, so say we have a $10,000 profit split, I then know 5k needs to go into savings, 2k goes into my necessity and needs, 1k then goes into rainy day, wants, and availability. Now, some cool things to notice is on needs, even though 2k can add up, and say I get 4 and my living expenses is only 2k a month, and I've done this twice, then the whole goal in the next step for financial freedom is to be able to have at least 12 to 24 months worth of your necessities available in a necessity bank. So then you know that if you have zero income for the next 2 years, that necessity bank has been built up because you've been grafting, you've been saving the right way, and you've been splitting your money in a smart and intelligent manner to help you become completely financially free. You then use your savings to reinvest that and to build that into your own portfolio. You have enough money for your wants and your rainy day, and you are living below your means. Now, look, at the end of the day, if this looks like it's something that's attainable for you, then do it. If it isn't, then adjust it. But this is the end goal. This is the end goal that I work towards. So for example, say your needs currently is actually 80%, then your goal is to be able to save and be able to invest to increase your income, so that the majority of it that can help you reduce your necessities down and then increase your savings up. You have two ways. You can either use less and spend more and then have a lower needs on a monthly basis. So move into a smaller apartment, have a less flashy car, spend less going out to eat your food, so you can be more frugal to decrease your needs. Or the other method, which is what I did a bit of both. I basically live below my means and also increase the income skill. So increasing the income skill would be buying more books, having more self-development, and be able to earn more from your trading, earn more from content, earn more from real estate. Increase that earning, and then you'll be able to become more financially free in your own way. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let me know what you guys think, something completely different, you know, on the channel. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Champ out. See you in the next video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.